and senior are quite close to each other. It's a hive of activity in there, and the minor dressing room still a welter of excitement, and everybody wearing black and amber today, absolutely thrilled with the success of the minors. The news has filtered through, of course, to the senior dressing room, but the senior dressing room, as you might well imagine, is much quieter, far more subdued, but the team are very relaxed in there. Everybody in there talking about the minors, all right, that's a great encouragement for them, but the seniors, let's get to them. Everything is fine. John Henderson is fine. DJ Carey in particular is feeling great. There were some slight doubts about him during the week and a little further beyond that, but DJ Carey is okay and he plays and he's in great form. John Henderson too is in splendid form. He plays and he's looking forward to giving a big performance here today. Of the rest of the team, they're all fit and well, and selector Nicky Brennan told me that they've never been better. One Kilkenny player of particular interest is Adrian Ronan, who'll be wearing number 16. Adrian is the only one of the Kilkenny panel today going out on the field with 2 jerseys. He's wearing a yellow number 16 and he's also got a black and amber number 16, because he may well come on in the forwards or he may well come on in goal. Watch out for that, but let's hope for Michael Walsh's sake that there doesn't have to be a switch between the posts. So the news from Kilkenny is good. They're all feeling great and looking forward immensely to the match coming up very, very shortly.
Yes, I think it's fair to say that
cautiously optimistic.
Yes, I think it's fair to say that
Cautiously optimistic. They're certainly delighted that Cormac Bonner is playing, and Cormac himself told me that he was confident that he would last the 70 minutes. Certainly great nervousness there as well. Training in Simple Stadium on Wednesday night. There was a great family atmosphere. It just shows you what the GA means to the people of Ireland. Simple Stadium was virtually packed to capacity, and if Tipperary win, I'm sure there'll be no work done at least for 1 week in the Premier County. But what of Tipperary's chances? If they are to win this All-Ireland, I feel that they're going to have to settle fast, particularly in the opening 20 minutes. Get the ball into that marvellous full forward line of Pat Fox, Cormac Bonner and Nicky English. Kilkenny's selector Watty Long told me that he felt that if Kilkenny were to win this All-Ireland, they would have to hold Tipperary in the opening 20 minutes. So that's basically the policy and the tactics in both camps. Tipperary still confident. Babs feels that this is going to be their year. They have to prove a point after winning the All-Ireland in '89. So it's all clear. Team lining out as selected in the Tipperary dressing room.
welcome back again. Well, a full house here in Croke Park, as you can see, and a marvellous atmosphere. It's quiet now, but it's the quiet before the storm. I can assure you there will be an explosion of sound and colour in just a few moments when the senior teams come out here onto the pitch. Well, I'm he's all morning trying to keep that nice t-shirt clean. Oh, what happened? A fella spilled a bowl of soup on his trousers. It's not been a good championship for Cork people, I'm afraid, Donald.
Well, we're lucky, but we had this bad omens from the start of the year, I think. I certainly haven't had it today anyway.
What about the omens for this senior match now? I mean, people, when you're considering the match, sometimes you change your thoughts from one team to the other. Your last thoughts are usually the best on the final. How do you feel about it now?
Well, I feel that basically that you have to stick with Tipperary because of their talent. But I was listening to an RT programme during the week on the radio, and I think it was on about racing, horse racing, and somebody said that 40% of favourites only win. That means 60% lose. So, I mean, any team that comes up here has a chance, and Kilkenny definitely have the chance here today.
Eamon, we've talked so much during the summer about this fabulous Tipperary forward line. They have been great in their matches. But if Bonner isn't fully fit, if English isn't fully fit, then that surely paints a different picture on it all.
It does, because it raises the question, if Bonner isn't fully fit, how long is he going to last? And if English isn't fully fit, then who do they put into the full forward line? Because the Tipperary forwards have hinged around Bonner. He does the donkey work. He goes out, he wins the ball, he passes to Fox, he passes to English, or whoever's outside him. Now, if he can't do that, then what happens this great Tipperary forward line? You know, they're in trouble. The hub of the wheel is missing.
Well, I can tell Donald O'Grady that Cork are not completely forgotten at Croke Park here this afternoon, because the Jubilee team being honoured here today are the Cork hurling team of 1966, and they are about to be introduced to the crowd.
The Honor of the Park of Croke, Cuig Bliana Fehad O'Hen. They played against Kilkenny in the All-Ireland final. The score that day, Cork 3 goals and 9 points, Kilkenny 1 goal and 10. At left half forward, the captain of the team was Gerald McCarthy. Mar Hay, the cool boy was Paddy Barry. Haven alive Desha Iberado, Peter Doolan, right full back. Full back on that great day for Cork was Tom O'Donoghue. And completing the full back line, Dennis Murphy Clay. In Salalina Yesh was Tony Connolly, number 5. Selected at centre-back but unable to play owing to injury was Dennis O'Riordan. Starting at left half, spending some time at centre-back, Paddy Fitzgerald. Lord Napolska, an under-21 player as well that year, Justin McCarthy. And with Justin, a man that has done a long journey, he's come all the way from northern Nigeria. He played at midfield for the Mick Waters. Right half forward, another man that had a long journey all the way from Lagos, Father Shawnee Barry. Ivera Haindia, Galore and Lalina Tusig, John O'Halloran. And as already stated, Gerald McCarthy was the left half forward. Right corner was Charlie McCarthy. Full forward, the man that scored 3 goals that day was Colm Sheehan. And at left corner forward, the man that made the comeback that year, John Bennett. The other members that made up the squad, we had Ger O'Leary. Another youth of the time, Con Roach, an under-21 player. Next came Donald Sheehan. A man that's still pucking the ball, Finbar O'Neill. And Teddy O'Mahony. Just one remains. The late Jerry O'Sullivan played centre-back on that team. His son, Nigel O'Sullivan, is representing the O'Sullivan clan. Nigel O'Sullivan. Accord the Vulder Crave na Herden, Cuig Bliana Fihed O'Hin, Gomarashiad Caid, Tillinshiad Anavula Boss, Firn Chorkai, na Bliana Nede de Shaska Shay, Goramila Mahagal.
All-Ireland hurling winning team of 1966 remembered here at Croke Park this afternoon, and Eamon Cregan has just been reminding me that he played against most of those guys. You're looking awful lot younger than them, Eamon.
I am. I was very young, about 17 and a half at the time.
Looking at the midfield battle in this game coming up here in a few minutes, quite interesting because neither side have been particularly impressive at midfield so far in this championship.
No, Aidan Ryan has come into centre field with Tipperary. Now, myself and Declan Carr are the pairing for Tip, and Richie Power and Michael Phelan are the others for Kilkenny. But I'm just trying to figure out who's going to mark Aidan Ryan, because Aidan Ryan could be back in corner back and he could be above in the forwards. He'll be all over the place, and Kilkenny have got to stop him. But I think they'll both break even. There'll be a lot of overhead play, half-backs on each side.
Donald, when John Henderson went off injured the last day here in the semi-final, there was consternation in the Kilkenny defence. They relied so much on him, and they looked very, very shaky for a long time after that. What about this Kilkenny defence?
Well, in fact, Michael, I thought that even when he was on, that they looked very, very shaky. And it was only in the second half when they lined up with Eddie O'Connor at full back And about 10 minutes in the second half, they had a look of solidity about them. And for a while I thought that John Henderson might make the team, that they would in fact keep the same full back line as finished. But the thing about John Henderson is that he has looked for years, and people will be saying for years that he's gone and that some fellas will take him to the cleaners, but that hasn't happened yet. And it just reflected there on the 66 Cork team. I mean, they came up as no hopers and they won.
Well, Donald, here they come, the men from Kilkenny taking the pitch. And listen to that cheer greeting them. Their first All-Ireland final against Tipperary since 1971. Well, Eamon, as they take the bench and get ready for the traditional photographs, you know, one thing occurred to me during the week. Perhaps if Tipperary were playing Galway or Offaly or somebody else in this final today, they would be red-hot favourites. But because it's Kilkenny, there's a doubt in Tipperary's minds themselves about this.
I think there is a doubt in Tipperary's mind now. The less knowledgeable in Tipperary are saying there's no trouble, they're going to beat Kilkenny. But as I said, I met Pat Henderson and Eddie Kerr, and they said they're going up to fulfil a fixture. Now that's danger. Straight away it is danger for Tipperary. Yes. And Kilkenny have nothing to lose. They've come up. Nobody is rating them or anything like that. And I think it's a great way to come into an All-Ireland final.
And I know for a fact that Tipperary are very irritated by the fact that the tipsters have put them in the role of being favourites, because they certainly don't want that.
I was listening to Donny Nealon on Limerick Radio there on Friday, and he said, who the hell made us favourites at such big odds, you know? And that's the fear that the casualness of the supporters will rub off on the players themselves.
Eamon, there's a little buzz going up around Croke Park again now at the moment from the Tipperary supporters who are waiting for their team to come around. I'm sure our discussion will be interrupted by that cheer when it happens. But Donald, while we're waiting for Tipperary, what's the thoughts in Cork about Tip? Because Cork people should know more about Tipperary this year than anybody.
They'll come forward and that they'll win it.
Well, you heard for yourself the support for Tipperary that's here today. There was a great cheer for Kilkenny, but I think the Tipperary supporters have managed to win the cheering battle anyway for a start. And they have been such fabulous supporters, it has to be said, for the past 5 or 6 years since their re-emergence again. And one of the great things that I like about the Tipperary supporters is, Eamon, that win, lose or draw, they're always behind their team. You know, even in 87, 88, when they lost big games here at Croke Park, they were in great humour afterwards. They still felt that they had a good team that would still produce it for them someday.
Yes, well, you see, it had been 17 years since they come back, so therefore, you know, the fact that they had lost was still a bitter blow. But they knew there were a lot more years in this Tipperary team to come. So therefore, that's why they were there and they were cheering in good humour. But they're never in good humour when you're beaten. You know, nobody is.
Maybe that's an omen in itself, Eamon, but he's late out of the dressing room to take the team picture. But Cormac Bonner, Donald, would be loving this occasion because he's one of the great characters, as indeed the two brothers Colin and Conall are of the game.
Well, he loves certainly the standing ovation from out there. I don't know really whether it's a ploy to lift the team psychologically or not. But looking at Cormac Bonner, I feel that if he hadn't played, he would be a bigger loss to the Tipperary forward line than, and I know it's an awful thing to say, but than Mickey English or Pat Fox. Because really he is the playmaker up there. He is the man who takes the pressure off both of them, and he is the player that makes the scores.
Yes, I agree with what Donald said. I'm just looking at Cormac Bonner. He has the face mask on, he has strapping around his right knee, and there's strapping on his left leg. Now, that seems to me as if there's a hamstring injury, or else it must be something to do with the calf.
It may be, yes, it's attached, as you can see, to the calf muscle injury. But that's interesting that he's bandaged that high up as well.
Yes.
Yeah. He has certainly more bandages here
probably
today.
To give a bit of support to the thigh muscle, after the calf muscle from the thigh.
Okay, gentlemen, well, the time for talking has finished. The time for action has nearly come. It's time for the 1991 All-Ireland final between Tipperary and Kilkenny. Let's join our commentary team for this year's finalists, Jimmy Barry Murphy and, of course, Ger Canning.
Thank you very much indeed. It's an impressive sight. Croke Park, the climax of the hurling year. The park wonderfully maintained, prepared skillfully for the match of champions, Munster against Leinster. Aidan Ryan, the dashing midfield player, it was he, of course, who came on and gave flagging Tipperary spirits a huge uplift in the two testing matches with Cork, and his form suggested then that he could not be left out. Nicky English back in full harness. He'll be ever remembered, of course, for his 2 goals and 12 points against Antrim here in the final 2 years ago. And also the right leg there, heavily strapped up. So the big question marks about the fitness of that marvellous full forward line, because each and every one of them carries injuries into this game. That's the full-back, John Henderson of Kilkenny, a link with the last Kilkenny team, also troubled by injury, of course. That injury which he picked up in the Antrim game, which forced him off. Christy Heffernan, the team captain this afternoon, placed on the 40, and it's going to be very interesting to see how his height and strength may unsettle Bobby Ryan. You feel if Kilkenny get an edge there, they may well be in business. Get me the foil to now to viewers of Channel 4 across Britain to the All-Ireland Hurling Final. Welcome to Dublin, to Croke Park for the climax of the hurling year. The meeting of Tipperary and Kilkenny here in a marvellous Croke Park, beautifully set, and over 60,000 people in here for the match everybody's wanted to see. So we'll take a check then on the team news for the afternoon, starting with Kilkenny, with John Henderson restored to full back, where his experience will complement the fine stick work of Bill Hennessy and Liam Simpson. Eddie O'Connor, who swapped roles with Hennessy and starts at left half back, while the changes in the forwards primarily concern the recall of Liam Fennelly to the edge of the small square, with Christy Heffernan selected at centre half forward. So can the Cats win back the cup, which they last won, of course, back in 1983? Declan Carr, who is the Tipperary team captain, went in there with Christy Heffernan to determine the toss. Didn't see who won the toss. Let's remind ourselves that Tipperary are unchanged from the 15 selected to start the semi-final. Cormac Bonner leads the attack in spite of injury doubts, while Nicky English is also, it seems, over the worst of his recent fitness problems. In all, 12 of today's team played in the successful 89 final, the odd ones out being Paul Delaney, Michael Ryan and his namesake Aidan Ryan. In fact, the toss is going to happen down here in front of us. The breeze, well, there's scarcely a breath of wind around in Croke Park this afternoon. The flag's lying limp, and I don't think it's going to be a major factor. Eamon Morrissey across there in the... Eamon Morrissey across there in the... President is ever looking relaxed, now coming across to meet the Kilkenny players. First opportunity perhaps for many of these players to meet our president on one of the showpiece occasions of the Irish sporting year. The players doing their best not to betray any hint of nerves or tension as they exchange their greetings. An introductory ceremony this, which was part of the patchwork of All-Ireland Final Day now since centenary year of the Gaelic Athletic Association back in 1984. John Parr there meeting President Robinson, and DJ Carey introduced by the team captain Christy Heffernan. Liam Fennelly and Liam McCarthy there at the tail of the Kilkenny lads, and then the officials this afternoon, the referee Willie Horgan from Cork there in the centre, his linesman Jerry McClory from Antrim, and John Joe Corcoran who's from Galway. So now Declan Carr gets to introduce his colleagues, starting with Ken Hogan. Paul Delaney wasn't selected, of course, for the 89 final because of claims that he played illegally in Britain. That was a traumatic personal experience for Paul, which he's put behind him well now. Bobby Ryan, then Conal Bonner, Aidan Ryan, who's a brother of Bobby, Michael Cleary, who, although he's yet to win a Man of the Match award, if there were a Telecom Éireann Player of the Championship prize to be won, I think he would be surely hot in the running. John Lahey as well, meeting the smiling president, and Conal Bonner, about whom there's been so much talk in the build-up.
And so
this is the 14th meeting And the record at the moment standing at 8 wins to Tip, 5 to Kilkenny. And that last fact there about Kilkenny's victory by 10 points, I wonder will that inspire them to another victory this afternoon. Mind you, it has to be said that Tipperary had already qualified for the league semi-finals at that stage, and Kilkenny were... With great gusto, a remarkable setting, a deafening roar from the packed attendance, nervous tension much in evidence as we wish them all well and look forward to what we hope will be an eventful final. This is the trophy they're playing for, and here's a quick recap on the teams. Kilkenny with strength through the middle from John Henderson and Pat Dwyer, right up to Christy Heffernan and Liam Fennelly, and of course free taker DJ Carey expected to be prominent. Tipperary with a confusing array of brothers and namesakes, 4 Ryans, as we say only Bobby and Aidan are related, 3 Bonners, Colm, Connell and Cormac, and 1 English, Nicky of course, at number 15. The referee is Willie Horgan. He was also in charge of this year's National League final. He becomes the 3rd Cork man to take charge of an All-Ireland hurling final. So the final underway, up towards Liam Fennelly. Whipped out in a pile-up of bodies as the players were going for that one. A couple of players looking to be dazed as it's played up towards Pat's Fox corner. There with Liam Simpson. 2 players still lying on the ground, I can tell you, away from the action as Declan Carr nips in here. High challenge from Eddie O'Connor. Michael Cleary's shot is blocked down by Pat Dwyer. Will scramble to get this ball free. Tips still on the attack. Michael Cleary against John Henderson. Stopped somehow by Pat Dwyer, and finally it's gone out over the end line and it's gone wide. Now the referee will surely stop the action here once his attention has been brought to the fact that there are 2 players down injured. Liam McCarthy is the Kilkenny player involved, and it seems that it's Michael Ryan maybe, or Conall Bonner could be the Tipperary player involved. So McCarthy and Conall Bonner, yes it is. The players who just got in one another's way that time. Puck out, and Michael Welch will take it. Aidan Ryan runs into Christy Heffernan. Meanwhile Bobby Ryan has a shot blocked down by John Power. Power against Leahy. Michael Phelan, part of the Glenmore contingent, trying to touch it on there towards Eamon Morrissey. Fennelly trying to get right involved in the action early in the match. Kilkenny looking like they mean business early on. Now DJ Carey, he's got great pace. Turns it high, but he's put it wide. Colm Bonner, I think, will be aware early on about the pace of this young player. He really is one of the speed merchants of hurling, and if you give him a yard, well, he'll steal a couple of dozen more.
Yeah, it's great ball back by Liam Fennelly here when he had no chance of scoring himself. Spotted the loose man outside. DJ Carey gathered it very well and showed good pace, and normally he'd like to have got a good start and scored from there, but just drifted wide.
Declan Carr against Eddie O'Connor. He's anxious to make an early impression as well, but we still await the opening score of the game. So 2 wides for Tipperary, 1 for Kilkenny. Christy Heffernan coming out towards this one, but in the end gets in Richie Power's way. Michael Phelan now, without the stick, belting it forward. towards Eamon Morrissey, and Fennelly showing very clever stick work on the ground. Morrissey trying to line himself up for a shot. It's stopped by Paul Delaney. Comes out to the recovered Conall Bonner towards Aidan Ryan. Driven defiantly downfield towards Declan Ryan. Touched on towards Pat Fox. Beaten further over by Liam Simpson. Michael Cleary going across to put in a challenge. It reaches Fox. Very near the sideline. Eddie O'Connor going back, doing well, getting goal side. And Simpson unable to keep the ball in play. It's going to be a sideline ball. And the pressure will be on the Kilkenny backs. Seen by many people as the complete player. And what's turning out to be his best season so far. Whipped in, stopped by Pat Dwyer. Driven out towards John Power. Right half forward, stopped by Conall Bonner. The half-backs from Tipperary trying to get on top of their task early on. But it's Christy Heffernan who's breaking through. Well beating Bobby Ryan. Hand passing it outside when he could have gone for a point himself. And the referee says that he can't have too many steps, I think, or perhaps he caught the ball twice.
I think Jerry caught the ball twice and he had plenty of room there. Christie might well have taken a point. Kilkenny have started quite well. They're full of action and they're all go, and they'd certainly like to get a score on the board. I think Christie could well have had a shot there when he got inside Bobby Ryan.
That was curious because Christie really had the chance to get a score himself. Instead he placed it outside to DJ Carey, who was already fairly well marked.
Yeah, you see here Christie races inside, catches the ball once, goes on again then, and I think he's not sure whether to go on with the ball or take a shot, and he catches the ball here again, and that's a free out, second offence.
Pat Fox, Pat Dwyer comes out. John Lahey gets the opening point of the match. John Lahey, the man of the moment. And at the canal end, the Tipperary fans salute the opening score of the game, which has taken 5.5 minutes to produce. Michael Welch fucking out with a hurley stick, which his father Ollie has made for him. Richie Power down towards Christy Heffernan. Slotted outside by Conall Bonner to the waiting Aidan Ryan. Control just letting him down. Liam Welch. The linesman adamant to cross over there. Linesman John Joe Corcoran. The pensive Cormac Bonner. And the most photographed legs in Croke Park this afternoon. John Parr getting by Conall Bonner. Indications early on that the Kilkenny half-forward line could cause problems for the tip-half back line.
And they certainly look very sharp, did quite well, but Tipperary broke up the field, got one chance, took their point.
Eddie O'Connor under the dropping ball, beats him for distance. Declan Carr criticised in many places for his performances so far this season, and today he wants to turn in a really good 70 minutes work. Declan Ryan on the fore sideline ball. It's out by Richie Parr down towards the inside forward line, and no Sheehy gets there first against Liam Fennelly. We've seen Fennelly win a couple of balls and he got out very fast that time, and the referee for the foul there on Pat Fox by Liam Simpson awards the free into Tipperary, and they can go 2 points ahead here. Michael Cleary, who scored 8 points against Cork in the drawn match, won 7 in the replay and won 9 against Galway, lines up Tipperary's second scoring chance. So Tip leading by 2 points.
Here, Pat Fox great at the broken play, snaps the ball into his hand, and a loose swing by Liam Simpson gives away a silly free, and easy point for Tipperary.
At the other end, the Tipperary attack still trying to find some rhythm and combination, because they haven't really combined all that terribly well so far in this match, and that's been the tale of their campaign in the championship, and yet they're here in the final. Michael Phelan will need a replacement stick, which the team trainer Michael O'Flynn is bringing out. Richie Power battling there with Aidan Ryan, got a touch onto it up towards Nicky English, and the referee saw the drop down by Bill Hennessy on Nicky English. Referee very sharp. So Michael Cleary has another chance. He makes it look very easy, quite routine. And Tip now go into a 3-point lead when it seemed that Kilkenny were getting the early breaks.
This is it. Kilkenny just can't afford to give away frees in that situation. Michael Cleary has been slotting them over all the year, and they're simple frees, and Kilkenny back, they've got to get the grips with the Tipperary forward line, get out to the ball fast and knock it away without giving away frees.
Aidan Ryan, Conal Bonner just went in expecting the breaking ball to come his way. It's going to be a free in. Eamon Morrissey, the player I'm sure they're going to be looking to this afternoon. He very much was their star against Antrim. Watch the position of Conal Bonner after he pushed John Parr that time. Took up a good position. Free was for the second offence. Pushed by Michael Ryan. DJ Carey looking for Kilkenny's first score of the afternoon. So Kilkenny are off the mark after 10 minutes. Well, the expectations were for a tight contest here this afternoon, and that's what it looks like we're about to get. Richie Parr against John Lahey. Touch back in towards Liam Welsh. And by Aidan Ryan towards Nicky English. Stopped by Bill Hennessy. Hennessy has the distinction of keeping Nicky English scoreless in 2 league matches in recent years. Pass towards Michael Cleary. Runs in. Cormac Bonner trying to break that ball forward. Still Cormac Bonner. English coming in as well. Stopped in the end. And it's taken away out of danger by Liam Simpson. Great cornerback play. Up towards Liam McCarthy. Runs inside. Noshi trying to get in goal side here against Liam Fennelly. Fennelly causing problems. And he's put it over the bar. There's just a point in it. Got the second point from play in the match. Kilkenny's first from play. 3 points to 2.
This resulted from great clearance by Liam Simpson when Kilkenny were under pressure and they cleared a long ball. Noah Sheik got us here, tripped accidentally, I think, in fairness by Liam Fennelly, who snaps up quickly and scores a great point.
Lahey's made a marvellous catch, raiding on that left-hand side. Chopped down by Hennessy. Ball inside still, no chance presented, comes out to Liam Walsh and whipped away out of the danger area. A real moment of danger there for the Kilkenny defence. Lahey the instigator. Carr to keep the pressure on that defence. It's taken with some difficulty by Liam Welsh. Out of the middle towards Christy Heffernan, being marked the whole time by Bobby Ryan. Michael Phelan up towards Liam Fennelly, trying to break it down for the incoming John Parr. Noel Sheehy again, standing his ground at fullback to Christy Heffernan. Tapped nicely forward towards Eamon Morrissey. Had made a good diagonal run from right to left to turn and to put it over the bar and to put the sides level. Excellent positioning taken up by Eamon Morrissey to put the sides level. He made a good run across. That was a fine ball inside that time.
Good ball again by Christy Heffernan here. Spots Eamon Morrissey running across the opposite corner from where he's playing, and this is very good corner forward play. Turns and snaps up an excellent score. And Kilkenny need Eamon Morrissey and Liam Fennelly and these players to get on their game now and try and get some scores. They're coming back into this game very well.
Tipperary's third wide of the game. 3 also for Kilkenny.
Kilkenny have certainly settled better now during it. It's noticeable that Christy Heffernan is making quite a big impact at centre half forward, and if he can keep going, it'll be very good for Kilkenny.
Great catch from the man you talked about. Brilliantly down. Bobby Ryan now trying to get it back goal side. He's fouled him. The referee is signalling for a free in, and Kilkenny can take the lead for the first time in the game from this free, which will be taken by DJ Carey. But what a piece of fielding that was by an informed Christy Heffernan. By his own admission, he hasn't been having a good season. But this is the time to produce the form he can produce.
Well, Christy certainly hasn't been playing well, but he looks all fired up today to have a big game. That's a magnificent catch with Hurley's flying everywhere and wins an excellent free and a great chance for Kilkenny to go ahead.
DJ Spuffham in front. 2 points now for DJ Carey from the Young Ireland's club, which is in Gowran. So they've made a very fine recovery, having surrendered the first 3 points of the match to Tipperary. Ken Hogan's puck out, down towards Declan Ryan. Just can't hold on to it. It comes to Michael Phelan instead. Both sides well G'd up by now. That's DJ Carey down into space, but there's nobody there for it because Liam McCarthy had come well in from his corner forward position. He'd taken up a left half forward position at that time. Eamon Morrissey, who really displayed his true all-star qualities in the semi-final. Nicely caught, just dropped again by Aidan Ryan. Down to John Parr. Parr is getting a lot of the ball so far, and Conal Bonner will really have to tighten up his marking on him. On towards Richie Parr. It's all Kilkenny just now. Breaks inside towards Liam Fennelly, who's discarded the helmet. Fair shoulder, the referee decides. Nicely flicked away, brilliantly done in fact, by Conal Bonner. And it ends up being a sideline ball. That was great defensive play. I think it was Conal Bonner, and John Parr isn't too pleased about that challenge by Aidan Ryan. And the referee speaking to an incensed John Parr, who has injured his hand, and Dr. Bill Cudahy, who was attending to the injured player, and the referee decides that Parr was taking the law into his own hands.
Well, it's a chance here for Kilkenny again. Liam Fennelly gathers the ball, and it was a bit scrappy kind of play. He turns inside Noel Sheehy very well, tries to get out of the room, take a shot, but I think he loses control just for the vital second. Conal Bonner shoulders him very fairly. Good decision by the referee there. And
this is what happened then, Jimmy, when Aidan Ryan and John Parr went over there and he collided.
I think it was a complete accident. In fairness, Aidan Ryan went bald-headed for the ball, as he's quite entitled to do, and he shouldered John Parr fairly, and unfortunate for himself, he ended up against the wire, but I don't think there was anything Aidan Ryan could do about it.
I think when John Parr looks back on the video of this, although he's picked up a very nasty hand injury, he'll realise it was an accident.
It's pretty dangerous there, Jerry, near the wire, and as you can see, he got quite a bad gash, and that's unfortunate. He's been playing very well, and in fairness to Aidan Ryan, I don't think there was anything dirty in that tackle at all.
So it's going to be a sideline ball, and Richie Parr just getting ready to take the cut. Not a good one. Christy Heffernan advancing once again against Bobby Ryan. Bobby now settling to his task, having to kick the ball away, knowing that he might well have been hooked by Christy. So a point between the teams as Eddie O'Connor for Kilkenny side, who are in front. Declan Ryan blocked down by Michael Phelan. Declan Carr, I should say. Christy Heffernan cross towards Eamon Morrissey's wing, and again it's Noel Sheehy, the man of the match in Tipperary semi-final against Galway. Up towards Nicky English. We haven't seen much of Nicky English. We've seen very little of Cormac Bonner so far. Bill Hennessy, to the delight of the Kilkenny fans. The long clearance. Colin Bonner under pressure from DJ Carey. Carey raiding inside on his favoured left-hand side, and he's put over the bar for another point. 3 points in the match now for DJ Carey. That's the first from play, and Kilkenny now lead by 2.
Well, again, broken play across the field here, and DJ Carey, one thing he's got tremendous pace, and he races away from Colin Bonner there very well and strikes a lovely point off his left hand. One thing about him, he can score right or hand, and he's very, very accurate.
Eddie O'Connor, one of the finds of the season for Kilkenny. The strange thing is that he just came in as a sub. He's been pushed and he wins the free. Came in as a sub against Wexford, and many people were wondering why he wasn't on from the beginning.
He reminds me a lot of Van Larkin, the way he plays there, very, very wholehearted, and as you say, he's been the find of the season, and a tremendous inspiration the way he gathers the ball and bursts out of defence.
Footballer and hurler indeed, Eddie O'Connor. He was on the Glenmore team, beaten in the football final in Wexford last year by Eamon Morrissey's Muckalee. Not the best free he's ever taken. Another mighty puck out by Ken Hogan, dropping into the heart of the Kilkenny half-back line. Eddie O'Connor racing across against Pat Fox. He did well, lovely stick work. Good wrist action and timing as well to dispossess the sharpshooter from Tipperary. Michael Cleary, known as Skippy to his friends. Cross towards John Lahey, brilliantly stopped again by Liam Welch. Well, this was a feature of their game against Antrim. The Kilkenny backs really do know how to mark tightly, as Bobby Ryan avails of the chance and puts it over the bar to cut back the leeway, and there's just a solitary point now separating the teams. 16 minutes in to the first half.
Well, here Declan Ryan is under pressure and he spots Bobby Ryan loose. Christy Heffernan is playing very, very deep and he's leaving a lot of room for Bobby Ryan, and he wouldn't want to give him that kind of space. A very good score for Tipperary, but
Ken Hogan just watching there as Noel Sheehy and Liam Fennelly get involved in a tangle, and the referee is going to call Noel Sheehy across here and lay down the law that you can't do that. He was obviously very angry about something that happened just immediately before that. This is what happened, Jimmy.
yeah, Liam Fennelly just jumps over the ball and Noel Sheehy runs in quite stupidly and manhandles him up against the barrier, and it's totally uncalled for. Again, Liam Fennelly was quite entitled to go after a loose ball, and Ken Hogan left it run wide. Referee books him quite rightly.
There's been a lot of sun around lately. Conor Bonner. Richie Power whipping it in again towards Liam Fennelly. Liam McCarthy taking it up delightfully, turning, striking and putting it over the bar for his first point of the match. And now the entire Kilkenny full forward line has scored from play. A very good return indeed, causing their problems against the Tipperary backs.
Kilkenny are certainly fired up for this game. Great pick up here again by Liam McCarthy. He scores an excellent point under pressure, and all Kilkenny forwards are getting on the act now. They look very sharp indeed.
We mentioned that the Kilkenny full forward line has all scored from play. By comparison, Tip, with their full forward line, yet to register a score between them. They have the free, however, as Colin Bonner was held up. I can tell you that Cormac was promising his nephew across in Edmonton, Devon Bonner, that he would get at least one score in this match. Michael Cleary, the free taker. Again, no return from it.
I think it's significant here so far that Cormac Bonner hasn't been in the game that much, and the Tipperary haven't been getting the ball into him as he likes. And in all the games that we've seen, it's been such a big factor, and they'll be looking to him to try and get involved in the game more. But I'm just wondering how much he's hampered by his injury.
The game plan certainly is coming unstuck against a very eager Kilkenny team, whipped up, of course, by the very fact that they're rank outsiders. John Power recovered from the hand injury against three Tipperary men, one of them Bobby Ryan, still unable to make much headway. Ferocious play in there, very, very committed, but that's what you expect, of course, in the fray of an All-Ireland final. So Richie Power then waiting, and it'll be DJ Carey who will go across to take the free. Ollie Welch in the background there. So Ollie watches as DJ prepares with great care to take this free. The side ahead by 2 points, 6 points to 4. Really lobbed in brilliantly. Stopped by Ken Hogan. Nice piece of goalkeeping. Under pressure. Eddie O'Connor. That was nicely judged by Ken Hogan. Meanwhile, it's Liam McCarthy, hoping to bring the cup of the same name back to Northside for the first time since 1983, when they put victories together against Cork in 82 and 83. Meanwhile, at the other end, John Henderson having a fairly easy time so far because the ball really isn't getting into Cormac Bonner. Paul Delaney. Eddie O'Connor touching it down, waiting for it, DJ Carey. Richie Power winding himself up with a shot, and he's found the range and he's put it over the bar. A really great point from the middle of the field by Richie Power of Carrickshock. A goal separating them now, 7 points to 4.
Great play here again by Kilkenny. Very sharp work by DJ Carey. Knocks the ball up and gives a very good pass out to Richie Power. Kilkenny are certainly top of the middle of the field, and they wouldn't be surprised if Cliff switched on Lahey to midfield very soon.
You just wonder whether Tip have been feeling the pressure that's been upon them in the last couple of weeks with just everybody expecting them to win.
Yes, well, and certainly in this case, Kilkenny are very, very sharp. Richie Power and Michael Phelan on top of the middle of the field, and Tip, I'd say, be looking into that situation very fast here. They're simply not getting any ball into their full forward line at all.
Leahy, in fact, has now drifted back just in front. There he is now making the catch in front of the half-back line. And it'll be interesting to see how Liam Welch will play him, whether we'll opt to play him as you would a midfielder or as a tight marking wing back on wing forward. And we've noted the switch, in fact, that Aidan Ryan may well have gone forward. We'll just wait to see that develop again very shortly as Pat Fox waits inside. Michael Cleary with the free, one they need to keep them nicely in touch, and he obliges with his third point of this first half, a first half which is now 24.5 minutes old. So the switch has been made. Leahy has definitely gone back into midfield on Richie Power. Declan Carr is his ally. Meanwhile, Christy Heffernan with his second magnificent catch in the first half. Didn't make too much headway the first time. Out to Richie Power. Can he get another score? Closed down by Bobby Ryan, who overcommitted himself. It reaches Eamon Morrissey, but the referee had spotted the foul. Jersey tugged, and it's going to be a free in for Kilkenny. And everything in this first half going very, very nicely for them. So once again, DJ Carey comes out to take the free. Scored 1-1 against Tipperary in last year's under-21 final. Kilkenny's 5th win at that grade. How he'd value a senior All-Ireland medal this afternoon, and he's got another score. Deadly accurate from frees. Only one miss out of 5 attempts so far. Richie Power towards Liam McCarthy. Paul Delaney. Christy Heffernan once again steadying himself, lobbing it forward. Paul Delaney waiting, expecting it to come his way. It didn't. Reaches Bobby Ryan instead. Battling his heart out in the middle of the Tipperary defence, but he's given it away this time to Richie Power. Inside towards Liam Fennelly, getting some latitude. He's got the ball as well. Now trying to create a chance, but he's overcarried, and it's going to be a free out. Tipperary were lucky because Liam Fennelly had set himself up nicely for a chance himself, but then when he got bottled up, he overcarried. He was trying to play it back to a colleague, and it ends up being a free out for Tipperary.
Richie Power is certainly a dominant figure in the match at centre field at the moment here, and he's having an inspired spell for Kilkenny, and he's helped to put it back into a very strong position.
Michael Phelan. Christy Heffernan breaks it on towards John Power. Paul Delaney. Reading the game so well. Up towards Declan Ryan. He can really be a star in this match yet. But with this one, he's just dropped it to the left and he's put it wide, and it becomes Tipperary's 5th wide in the first half. Kilkenny with 6. Bobby Ryan has moved across left half-back in a switch in the Tipperary half-back line to mark the danger man there, who's John Power, and Conall Bonner is now in on Christy Heffernan. Christy's been winning a lot of ball in the air. This is Bobby Ryan. That's stopped by DJ Carey. Nice wrist action to Christy Heffernan, and there's a man free, and that's Richie Power. Gets around easily the challenge put in by John Leahy. But having steadied himself, he failed to find the target. And he realises that's one that's left Tipperary off the hook.
Christy Heffernan again is causing havoc in the Tipperary half-back, and they just can't seem to handle his fight and his pulse, and he's really fired up for today's game. And if Christy keep going for the full 70 minutes, it's going to be a major factor for Kilkenny, I think.
Well, you may have heard his comment at the start of the programme. We're only here for one thing. Paul Delaney having difficulty controlling it, and in the end Kilkenny will have the sideline ball. It'll be Michael Phelan, who won an All-Ireland club medal here on St Patrick's Day with Glenmore, looking for another one at senior intercounty level. John Leahy, very, very deep, way back there. And Liam Welsh, by the way, has left him do that because he's continued to mark Aidan Ryan. This is Welsh. Richie Power. In it goes towards Liam Fennelly. Paul Delaney coming across his line, covering up for his fullback, out towards John Lahey, and nobody really marking John Lahey at the moment. A shoulder there from Richie Power, who come from midfield. Whipped out by Conal Bonner, but again only as far as Richie Power. The clearances from the Tipperary defenders, not what it might be so far. But Lahey, up it goes towards Cormac Bonner, runs on, and Michael Welsh makes a fine save, read it expertly, and scooped it away to his right. Well, Cormac Bonner just might have had a chance there for a moment. The English wanted to lick the line ball quickly, too quickly for the linesman's liking.
It's the first decent ball that's gone into the Tipperary full forward line for the last 10 minutes, and here you Bonner trying to race inside, but Michael Welsh is very quick off his line and slips it away out for the sideline ball. Very good goalkeeping and very alert always. But just the Tips' problem simply is that they're not getting the ball into their full forward line. They've been starved of possession, and they're being outplayed in the middle of the field and by the Kilkenny half-back line at the moment.
Liam Welsh lets it behind, and the referee saw that he was holding, and it's going to be a free in. The free conceded by Liam Welsh as Pat Dwyer was coming across to assist him. So John Henderson then and his fellow defenders getting ready to face the effects of this free, which Michael Cleary will take. Cleary. And arguments that one's done wide, and the umpire concurs. The umpire took up a good position, went behind the net. A number of umpires are inclined to position themselves right alongside the post, but this umpire had a very good view of it. So just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. The first half now dominated by Kilkenny, and John Parr coming raiding once more. Sold the dummy. Paul Delaney gets back, goal side, does well. Liam McCarthy trying to keep the pressure now up on the beleaguered Tipperary backs. Delaney again whipping it out. The scoreline reading Kilkenny 8 points, Tipperary 5. Michael Cleary against the challenge of Michael Phelan. Eddie O'Connor now. Off O'Connor's stick. And Jerry McGlory from Antrim, the linesman down here, signalling the line ball, which Declan Carr will take. Declan has scored 2 points from midfield in Tips' last All-Ireland appearance 2 years ago. And Declan, nor his colleagues, not too pleased with that one. A tip line, or a Kilkenny line ball. Declan Carr now, making sure he wasn't hooked by DJ Carey, sending it in towards Cormac Bonner, batted out by John Henderson. Aidan Ryan, however, reading his intentions, got onto it, hit it, and he's put it high and over the bar. His first score in the match since moving forward to left half forward. That's been a good switch, and now there's just 2 points between them.
That's better play by Tipperary. John Henderson defends the ball very well on Colin Bonner, but Aidan Ryan snaps it up very quickly and scores an important point for Tipperary because they're not been going well.
A brilliant catch at the other end by John Power. A shot, a rasping shot, but the referee, however, has signalled for a free out, and it's a case of the forwards taking too many steps, taking more than the 4 steps. And John Power again with an animated expression. He'll have to calm down because the referee has spoken to him already in this game, and his team captain Christy Herpenden just saying to him, cool it down a little. Ken Hogan. Bill Hennessy under it against Nicky English. He's done really well against English and kept him scoreless. Indeed, as we've said already, the entire Tipperary full forward line yet to score. Morrissey against Michael Ryan. Having difficulty picking it up, taking the shoulder from Bobby Ryan with great confidence. Oh, that's a super point by Evan Morrissey. He beat his man. He took the shoulder that came in from Bobby Ryan perfectly fairly, stood his ground, and with unerring accuracy sent it over the bar to put 3 points between the teams, and just under 2 minutes to go to half-time. What a score this was, Jimmy.
Well, that's an inspirational score, and they're the kind of scores that can win All-Ireland. When you start getting those scores that can demoralise the opposition, and Kilkenny will be very happy the way this first half has gone, and if they can hold a 3 or 4 point lead in at half-time, they'll be in a strong position.
Michael Welsh Conall Bonner under it. John Power trying to prod it on there against Bobby Ryan. DJ Carey and John Power just getting in another's way, as it were. And at the end, it's Noel Sheehy who fires it up towards Cormac Bonner and makes a super catch with the left hand. The Viking is going forward. Bonner still to Pat Fox. They look for their first score. And he has put it over the bar, has he? Yes. Pat Fox puts it over. The first point that the inside forward line has scored all came from that magnificent piece of fielding by Cormac Bonner. He laid it off superbly as he took it adroitly around his man, and Pat Fox stuck it over the bar.
Well, this has been Tip's strength all year. Cormac Bonner, fantastic catch there. Goes high up into the clouds and turns John Henderson very well. And this is why they've been so good at all the year. Spots the loose man outside, and Pat Fox is deadly from that distance, never misses a great score.
No hint of an injury the way he caught that one. Pat Fox, heavily bandaged left knee. On to Michael Cleary, and they've got another one in the space of a minute, and we're back to just a 1-point difference. Michael Cleary's 5th point of the first half. He's the leading scorer in the match. 4 points coming from frees, 1 now from play. Michael Welch's puck out, 9 points to 8. John Power coming back. What a game it's turning out to be. Fennelly. He's put it wide. He's put it wide. Oh, it's one of those misses that he may well rue before the 70 minutes is up. He was really in the clear. He engineered it well himself. He looks disgusted with himself, didn't he? As Declan Carr waits in midfield. Pat Fox against Liam Simpson. The foul, and it's going to be a free in. Can Tipperary go on level terms here?
Sheriff Tip go level here, you'll be wondering how they did. They've been outplayed for virtually the whole of the first half, and Kilkenny have just slackened off in the last couple of minutes and give away a free here now, and this will be a major boost to Tipperary coming back from seemingly playing poorly, and there's Michael Cleary knocks it over, and they're right back in this game again.
They're level, and Cleary has done it. So the referee playing some time for injuries in the first half. What a very good first half it's turned out to be. Very, very competitive. And you really couldn't say at this stage who's going to win it. They go in at half-time, level. Tipperary made the better start. 3 points, which Tipperary responded to, or Kilkenny responded to well, with Christy Heffernan really leading his side from the middle. John Power, a thorn in the Tipperary defence. And at half-time, it's Kilkenny 9 points, Tipperary 9.
Oh yes, I can see a hectic 35 minutes ahead of us in the second half of this match. It's a second half that we look forward to with relish after this commercial break.
And on this has been seen. And on this has been seeing stars for most of the first half since he took that early knock, and he's been replaced by the versatile Adrian Ronan, who'll come in at left full forward. Now Nicky Brennan has also said to me that Adrian Ronan would go into goal if anything were to happen to Michael Walsh. Other than that, John Power is not 100%. They're a bit worried about him, but he's coming out for the second half. Now Marty has been in the Tipperary dressing room.
Yes, well, the Tipperary dressing room is one of quite confidence. They're lining out as selected, and they feel at the moment that they're going to do it. The one thing that was very noticeable was that Donny Nealon and Cormac Bonner were emphasising to let the ball in to Fox, Bonner and English. They were a little bit disappointed the ball was coming in fast enough. So I think that you're going to see Tipperary playing the ball a lot faster in the second half.
So one change then, Liam McCarthy off, Adrian Ronan is in for Kilkenny.
What a versatile player Adrian Ronan is. You may recall in his championship so far, he played in goal against Wexford. He scored a goal and 3 points out the field against Dublin. He didn't score against Antrim, and he wasn't selected for the start of this match. Ger Henderson there, one of the 5 selectors for Kilkenny. The others being Nicky Brennan, Watty Long, Jerry Nolan, and of course the trainer and manager Ollie Welch. Bobby Ryan's had a very testing first 35 minutes in this match, under a lot of pressure from the height and strength of Christy Heffernan, as we had expected before the start of the match, and then was switched to a wing back where he's marking John Power at the start of the second half. Adrian Ronan has gone into the top of the left position as the game restarts. So level at the start of this second half, 9 points apiece, and only 4 finals have ever been drawn in the All-Ireland series. The last was in 1959. Kilkenny was involved, playing against Waterford. So the first free of the second half to Tipperary, and Michael Cleary the taker. Leading scorer in the match so far from 65 metres out. Cormac Bonner wanting the service inside. This is Liam Simpson scooping it away. Pat Fox alive to the possibilities. Liam Simpson had a very good match in my view against Antrim once he settled to his task. And the little flicks and wrist action that you see from the Kilkenny backs and stopping a Tipperary man, very, very impressive so far. Pressure applied now, brilliantly so by Declan Ryan. Fox hand passing it outside and giving Michael Cleary a bit of work to do. Still in play, and Michael Phelan felt the effect of that, picking himself rather gingerly off the ground. The hand injury. So Kilkenny have themselves the free.
Important factor now for Kilkenny there is whether Richie Poore in the middle of the field and Christy Heffernan in centre forward can keep up the momentum they showed in the first half. They've been great servants, Kilkenny, but they're not getting any younger, and it's going to be asking a lot of them to keep up the way they've been playing, and it's so important for them that they do that.
A mighty free from Pat Dwyer, the centre half back, up towards Christy Heffernan, batted down by Noshi. Adrian Ronan, first chance to shine in this match. Christy Heffernan seemed to be held, and in the end it's John Lahey who'll play anywhere. Coming out of the half-back line, up towards Pat Fox. Without playing well, Tipperary find themselves on level terms, which has to be very heartbreaking for Kilkenny, who played well, dominated, but they drove over 8 wides in the first half. Tip now with 7 wides so far in the game. It's John Lahey in the thick of the action. Well, it's worked in several matches. One wonders whether it's going to work in the final, this tactic of bringing him back deep. Michael Ryan. Lahey again. Up towards Nicky English, beaten by Bill Hennessy. Pat Dwyer on to Liam Welsh. Striking it to the right, however.
So important now that either side who has a chance, the match is so tightly balanced that they keep the ball in play and not strike wides. Pat Fox now and Liam Walsh have struck wides there when they could well have left the ball into the forward and try and keep the ball in play and put pressure on the opposing defence.
Declan Ryan. Inside towards Nicky English. Fox, neat pick-up. Looking for the first score of the second half, and Pat Fox has restored Tipperary's lead. They made the best start to the first half, and they've made a fine start now to the second. So very delicately balanced. Noel Sheehy trying to get out there ahead of Christy Heffernan, but he's a difficult man to dispossess. A determined Christy Heffernan trying to put in a challenge on Aidan Ryan. Ryan doing well. Nicky English with a fine catch, getting there ahead of Bill Hennessy. Nicky looking for his first score, and it's just tailed away at the final moment. It seemed to be on target, but Nicky saw that it eventually went outside the left-hand post. So yet to get his first score of the afternoon. Declan Carr down to Michael Cleary as Tip tried to establish a foothold at midfield. Bill Hennessy, Cormac Bonner, who's seen his side now get a bit more decent possession in the inside forward line in the opening couple of minutes of the second half.
It was noticeable when that ball went inside Nick English, he certainly couldn't sprint full out, and he was favouring that leg, I think, quite a lot. I wonder will Tipperary think of bringing in Joe Hayes at some stage. He's been a very good substitute in the Munster final and against Galway, and it's something to think about, I think.
Conor Stakelin would also be an option, of course. Did well here against Galway. Noel Sheehy touches it down to the cornerback. Michael Ryan, a high stick to the head that time. Even Morrissey, the one, I think, who connected, and Noel Sheehy not too pleased at all with that action by Morrissey, which has resulted in a head injury being picked up by the under-21 starlet, Michael Ryan.
Here you see Michael Ryan going back to pick up the ball, and Eamon Morrissey comes in, and that's dangerous play. I think the ball was there certainly, but you can't try and flick when the ball is around the player's head, and the referee quite rightly gives a free out to Kilkenny, or to Tipperary.
Michael Ryan, whose brother John scored 2 goals against Kilkenny in this year's Junior All-Ireland final, in need of attention. Well, he'll be anxious to continue if at all possible. Dr. Keating, the team official, medical official, and Babs Keating, the team manager, or Tipperary manager, and he obviously is very concerned. But happily, Michael Ryan can retake his place. So Ken Hogan of Lura taking the free. Down towards Declan Carr, touched on magnificently. Liam Ryan, however, getting back well, goal side. Michael Cleary trying to come across here, trying to get possession. John Power, but there was a foul by the midfield player Richie Power, and the referee having a quick word with him, and Michael Cleary will be the free taker. Tipperary continuing with the midfield of John Lahey and Declan Carr. Cleary, does it curl inside the left-hand post? It does. And Tip have now got another point, and there are 2 between them.
Great score for Cleary there, Gerald. Just get the feeling out of Tipperary. They've got the grips with the situation. Their midfielders and half-backs are tightening up a lot and getting the ball in a lot quicker to their forward line. And Kilkenny wouldn't want to be conceding any frees.
Christy Heffernan there against Conall Bonner. Remember his marker since midway through the first half. That was on from penalty towards Adrian Runnan. Going back, however, and making sure to get that one is John Lahey. Eddie O'Connor whipping it outside, but the first to react is Pat Fox. Ground hurling employed by Fox. The intentions, however, read by his marker Liam Simpson through the centre towards Christy Heffernan, being allowed a little bit of latitude by Conall Bonner. Christy in full flight to John Power. Oh, was a great shoulder, but the referee says an unfair shoulder. Colin Bonner obviously not going shoulder to shoulder, but rather shoulder into the upper chest. Power really felt the effects of that one.
Good play again by Christy Heffernan here. Takes on Conall Bonner, gets inside him, and he spots John Power loose outside him. Good hand pass out. John Power is wide open here, and it's a full frontal charge by Conall Bonner. The referee quite right, he gives a free in. Quite a heavy knock, and John Power's been playing very well, and he's one of the successes of the day for Kilkenny, and to hope he'll be able to continue.
Having already picked up a hand injury in the first half, and now he really did feel the effect of what was a great but absolutely illegal shoulder. As you say, he's been having a terrific match, and the pensive Tipperary fans up on the canal end just wondering whether their side can really explode into life. DJ Carey has the chance to bring the game back within Kilkenny's reach once more, with just a point between the teams. That's 5 points now in all for DJ Carey, the leading scorer in the match. Michael Cleary, he's on 6 points. 9 minutes gone in the second half. Ken Hogan's puck out. Stopped, however, splendidly by Michael Phelan. Up towards Liam Fennelly, lets it run on. The run-on's on to Paul Delaney, Tipperary. Down towards Nicky English, being marked by Bill Hennessy, and marked very tightly. Declan Ryan through the centre. Eddie O'Connor responding quickly, leaving it for John Henderson to whip it away out of the danger area. Tipperary will have possession. John Henderson back on his goal line. The Henderson brothers hold 11 All-Ireland medals between them at senior level. Pat with 5, John and Ger with 3 each. And now John having the chance to get a 4th this afternoon. You know, the other John Lahey. Nicky English with a fine catch against Bill Hennessy, who was holding him out, and Nicky English engineers the free. A determined look on his face. Being marked very tightly this afternoon by Bill Hennessy. So a chance for Michael Cleary to extend Tipperary's lead once again to a 2-point lead. He's got a goal! A goal! A speculative shot by Michael Cleary. The opening goal of the match comes after 10 minutes. We were saying there's never been a Kilkenny final without a goal. Well, was right out of the blue. I wonder, was he going for a point? Certainly the Kilkenny backs felt he was.
Well, sure, disaster for Kilkenny here. I think Michael Cleary actually mishits the ball, and Kilkenny backs weren't expecting it, deflected it into the net. And in fact, I thought it was quite a harsh free on Bill Hennessy when Nicky English turned into him and he seemed to play for the free rather than trying to get away from Bill Hennessy.
Colin Bonner now as the Tipperary team trying to impose their will on this match and ensure victory. Declan Ryan neatly dispossessed by Liam Welsh, but a body blow that is to Kilkenny. The underdogs going into the final now find themselves 4 points behind. Bobby Ryan taking it with some difficulty. He was fouled by Christy Heffernan and it's going to be a free out. Well, that was a goal they'll talk about for some time. I think you're right. I think he did miss-hit it. I'm sure he was going for a point. It deceived everybody. It may even have caught a deflection on the way in.
Yeah, I think it went off Liam Welch's hurley. What I'd be most interested in seeing again is the actual ball that Nicky English caught and where he won the free from Bill Hennessy. I thought it was a harsh free, but I'd like to see it again.
That's superbly caught back there by the aforementioned Liam Welch. So the pressure remains on the the Kilkenny defence. But the Cats have shown themselves in the past to have 9 lives. They looked beaten and out of it against Wexford, and then DJ Carey came and got a late goal for them. They looked as though they were on the way out against Dublin, and yet they won. The same story against Antrim. They've won all their matches by 2 points. John Lahey slips, misses, but it does manage to get in as far as Bill Hennessy. Richie Power lifting the siege. Up towards Eamon Morrissey. Morrissey with 2 points so far in this match. Watches as Christy Heffernan gains possession. Christy's made a lot of things happen without scoring himself. He certainly has been a problem for the 2 men who've marked him so far, starting with Bobby Ryan and now Conal Bonner. So,
well, that was a sickening blow for Kilkenny, Gerard, and it'll be interesting to see can Kilkenny react now. They need 1 or 2 points just to pull themselves back into the game and give themselves time to come back. But as you said, in all their games this year, they've been behind and not playing well, and they've shown great spirit and resilience, and I think they'll try and do the same now. If they can poach a point or 2, they're still in the game with a chance. But it was a sickening blow, and anytime you give away a soft goal like that, it's heartbreaking. They've played so well, they've tried so hard, and yet they're still 4 points behind. The full marks of Tipperary. John Lahey's moved to the middle of the field again, has tightened up the game for them around there. He's done well in Richie Power and helped haul Tipperary back into the game.
Noel Sheehy then continues to receive attention. Full credit to both teams for turning in a very fine All-Ireland final. We mentioned the battling qualities of Kilkenny in coming back. We have to acknowledge Tipperary and their battling qualities coming through the Munster campaign, and really they looked easy and comfortable against Galway. Sheehy, having got a belt on the nose, back in his full back position, watches as DJ Carey turns this chance high and over the bar. So, just a goal separating the teams. And Tipperary are taking the opportunity to introduce a sub, and it's going to be Conor Stakelum who's going to come in, scorer of 2 points against Galway, and the man going off is the full forward Cormac Bonner. Obviously not by any means 100% fit, but he lasted the first half and he's gone off in the 14th minute of the second half, so a good contribution by Bonner without being fully fit. Liam Welch plays it on to Michael Phelan. Kilkenny now will be hoping to ease into the Tipperary lead, just 3 points separating the teams. Liam Fennelly standing his ground well, getting inside. Noel Sheehy trying to turn it across towards Christy Heffernan. It is a difficult ball to get onto. Michael Ryan, the cornerback, Fowler is taking it out, and Tipperary with Bobby Ryan then saying to Michael Ryan, his namesake, well done and keep it up. A great rallying force himself, Bobby Ryan, and this one of the young stars, perhaps Tipperary's find of the year. Free rapidly taken. Liam Simpson trying to keep the ball away from Pat Fox. Declan Carr trying to put in a challenge as well. Christy Heffernan beginning once again to dominate. Michael Ryan, always call a high one once again. Liam Fennelly saying it was a perfectly fair shoulder. Liam incensed by the referee's decision to award a free out. Bobby Ryan and Liam Simpson, or Liam Fennelly. Well, Fennelly was quite angry about the original decision. Words being exchanged now. And DJ Carey telling Fennelly just to take it nice and easy. this is the challenge once again, Jimmy.
Yeah, Michael Ryan's coming out with the ball. He has possession, and Liam Fennelly catches him full frontal again into the around the mouth. You can't do that. It's a free out, and no need to be arguing about that. It's a simple free and no question about it.
Declan Ryan, back to Fox, and he's turned it over. Declan Ryan making the most of the chance to put it onto Pat Fox for his 3rd point of the game. So 4 points separating the teams once more.
That's what Fox is great at, watching for the play, coming back open the full forward line and snaps up those chances very well. He's had a fantastic season, he never misses those.
John Power touches it down. Bobby Ryan with Declan Ryan ready to take the pass from him. A good run forward from Bobby, having started all of that with the block down. Cross towards Pat Fox. Got to take it round. Simpson succeeding. A lovely point by Pat Fox, scorer of the last 2 points. This is a very fine spell in the match now for Tipperary, really turning the game around, beginning to impose themselves on the Kilkenny team now. And Fox, as you see, the scorer of 4 points. Well, there were those who were saying that Kilkenny would give a good account of themselves. That they've done, but can they do any better than that? Conal Bonner, Declan Carr, Michael Cleary, trying to turn the opportunity into another score, of no such luck. 3rd wide of the second half for Tipperary, their 9th wide in all. Identical tally to the Kilkenny wide figures.
Sure, I noticed now that Eddie O'Connor's gone back on Pat Fox, who has been going to town on Liam Simpson for the last few minutes, and that'll be an important substitution. When Fox gets going, he's practically impossible to stop.
Eamon Morrissey, he's put it over. It's a good point by Morrissey to keep his side well in touch. Plenty of time to go. Just 17 minutes gone in the second half. Liam Simpson now operating at left half back. And Simpson has been fouled. A disgruntled look on the face of Aidan Ryan. Pat Dwyer then will be the one who will take the free. Pat, who's already won an All-Ireland junior medal. Aimed towards Christy Heffernan. 2 men going on and the ball runs on. Pat cracked on Power. Inside towards Fennelly. Michael Ryan. He's really having a very steady second half, Michael Ryan. Who was centre half back and indeed in the forwards at one stage for the Tipperary under-21 team during the season.
Yeah, Joe, that was a ball that John Cork could have put over the bar himself there, I think, and kept them in touch. They're only 4 points behind, and they haven't created a good goal-scoring chance yet, and it might come if they keep taking their points. The goal chance can always come, and they're still well in the game.
Liam Welch. Second chance. A hefty challenge by Aidan Ryan, which is penalised by the referee Willie Horgan. And so Kilkenny have a scoring chance here, and DJ Carey is coming across to take it. Scorer of 8 points in Kilkenny's semi-final win. 5 of those coming from frees, 1 from a 65, and you wonder, will he go for a point from this angle? Past form suggested he'll try and put it over the bar. He's gone for it, but he's put it wide. DJ Carey has scored 6 points so far in the match, and that's one that they certainly needed. DJ Carey is now operating at top of the left. Liam Fennelly still at full forward, although he's just done a quick switch with Eamon Morrissey, who's now got in full forward. Michael Phelan trying to break it down in the middle of the field. Adrian Ronan operating at left half forward, up towards the aforementioned DJ Carey. Now Morrissey. He's got great strength. Bobby Ryan in under it there. No Sheehy likewise, and here comes Fennelly. Liam Fennelly blocked down superbly, but the referee is not one bit pleased by the challenge of Bobby Ryan, claiming that there was pulling on Liam Fennelly, and he's moved the ball into a more favourable position for the Kilkenny free taker to be straight in front of the goal. It looked a very good challenge by Bobby Ryan, I must say.
Yeah, you have Liam Fennelly. Liam is looking for a goal. He thinks they need it at this stage. He turns back onto his right hand, and I think that's a courageous block down by Bobby Ryan and a harsh decision on Tipperary.
It was a good challenge by Bobby Ryan, but watching it in replay, I think Michael Ryan is the one who actually was pulling his jersey.
I didn't spot that, of course, your typical forward. I was hoping that he'd get away with that.
But the referee did.
Good decision in fairness.
Absolutely. So DJ Carey, this should be an easy one for him. Or will he try and do a Michael Cleary in it? He's put it over. There's a goal in it once more.
Kilkenny are certainly battling hard. They're well there with a chance there, but if they can get a goal, I think they'll lead at this stage if they're to win, because they're just finding it hard to get possession, and Tipperary look dangerous when they break down the field. But it's really building up to it. What could be a fantastic finish.
Ken Hogan. Bucking it across towards Richie Power. Aidan Ryan in the clear. Stealing forward against Liam Welch. And a very fine point, simply executed. A second point in the game for Aidan Ryan. Straight from the puck out, judged it beautifully, ran into the clear, and did what every player at this level should be able to do. Christy Heffernan, I can tell you, has switched in full forward now, and Eamon Morrissey is the one who's come out onto the 40. Nicky English with another fine catch against Bill Hennessy. Played down, Conor Stakelum was operating at full forward against John Henderson. Neat dispossession. Henderson having to go back and nurse it out over the end line, and in the end he's happy to avail of the puck out. What a wily campaigner, John Henderson. Despite the questions that were asked about his current form and state of fitness before this match, he hasn't conceded a point in this game to either man who's been on him. Michael Cleary. Liam Simpson does well to get back. Cleary once again. Followed it up courageously. Shows his turn of pace now. But he's robbed splendidly by Liam Simpson. Up towards Michael Phelan. Showing too much of it to Declan Ryan. And Ryan has put it over the bar. An unerring finish from Declan Ryan. A first point in the game for him. But what a point.
I think that's the difference between teams today, Ger. Tipperary can seem to snap up their chances relatively easy, but Kilkenny have to work so hard and fight hard to get everything.
What a great steal this was originally.
That's right, Liam Simpson gathers it beautifully, but it resulted in a score for Tipperary, unfortunately for Kilkenny.
Declan Ryan for a Tipperary team who's played in the second half with a great deal more confidence and great deal more cohesion. John Lahey anchoring well around about the half back line, firing the ball forward. Conor Stakelum. Kilkenny ball.
The problem for Kilkenny is that they're just not creating enough chances to bring them back into the game, and whenever Tipperary get the opportunities, they seem to be taking their points and making it very, very hard for Kilkenny to come back into the game.
23 minutes gone in the second half. Tip with a useful looking lead at this stage. Eddie O'Connor doing well to take it away out of a ruck of players. Conor Stakelum and Michael Cleary were the two of the players involved, and it's going to be a Kilkenny free. And Eddie O'Connor trying to rouse his side then. Some elementary mistakes been made, and the tension of the occasion as Michael Welch takes the free. A huge one, well downfield, stopped splendidly by Conal Bonner. Blocked down by Morrissey. Recovered by DJ Carey to the aforementioned Eamon Morrissey once more. Doing as he did against Andrew, trying to make some space for himself. It's Aidan Ryan who mops it up, however. Out over the far sideline, it's gone, and it's going to be a sideline ball for Kilkenny. Well, they're 5 points adrift. 115 to 13 points the score. Michael Phelan, an industrious midfield player. Cutting it across towards Richie Power. Comes off Bobby Ryan. Showing what a great-hearted player he is. Aidan Ryan, his brother, who sat out the 89 final, having played against Galway in 1988. That's Pat Fox whipping it across between Conor Stakelum and Nicky English, and Nicky English has pulled up. It's Conor Stakelum. Well, it was noticeable as that ball was going wide, and as they were running across for it, Conor Stakelum got onto the ball because Nicky English, having made a run across for it, and he's gone down now. He's pulled up initially, and now he's gone down. And he really does seem to be in the wars.
I'd imagine Tipperary will introduce Joe Hayes and make the changes accordingly in the half-forward line. He's been a good substitute in the past, and he's very determined, I know, to do well if he comes on today.
And Willie Horgan just noting that Nicky English is about to be replaced, and it's Donny O'Connell who's coming in. Donny O'Connell gets the chance to come in, not Joe Hayes. Donny can of course play in the full forward line, and maybe that has swung it in his favour. So Tip now have lost two of their highly influential full forward line, Cormac Bonner and Nicky English. Declan Carr trying to dispossess John Parr. Trying to force the Kilkenny man into the error. In the end, he concedes the free. A look of disbelief in his face. What did I do? So they wait inside. And you wonder now whether DJ Carey, from a very long distance out, right on the sideline, will opt to lob this one in. Christy Heffernan might make the catch. John Power's in there, lurking as well, Liam Connolly and Eamon Morrissey. It's gone in, gone over, and it's a point. From a huge distance out, DJ Carey gets yet another point from a free.
Good score by DJ Carey from a very, very difficult angle, and it keeps Kilkenny just in touch, and they need to get take all the chances that are coming their way at the moment. They're just beginning to drift out of the game, and maybe this will help to haul them back into it.
8 points for DJ Carey, just one from play, as Declan Carr makes the catch, and the referee once again awards the free to Tipperary. Michael Cleary coming across. Declan Carr just looking a little groggy following that challenge a moment ago. Eight minutes to go. It's gone wide. Tipperary's 12th wide. 10 wides for Kilkenny. And a reminder of the time remaining as the clock ticks down. 27 minutes now gone. Donny O'Connell, first chance he's got to burst through, maybe to get a score. He's put it wide. Sean Henderson just allowing him that little bit of latitude. Conal Bonner, John Parr breaking through, tripped, free in. A chance once again for DJ Carey to put just a goal between the teams.
That's good play again by John Power. He's done very well for Kilkenny today, and just what they need at this stage. Try and get on the ball, force Tipperary backs into making errors, and try and haul themselves back into the game. There's only 4 points in the journey, there's a long way to go yet.
John Power has been forced out of the match through injury, it seems. He was playing really well. He picked up 2 hefty injuries. He's gone off. Lester Ryan's come in. DJ Carey puts it high, and he's put it over the bar. A 9th point for DJ Carey.
That's a shame for John Power, because he's been one of the successes of Kilkenny, and he's done very, very well today, and it's a shame to see him leaving the field. I think he got a couple of nasty knocks, and it's most unfortunate for him.
One of the loudest cheers of the afternoon was reserved for John Power as he made his way off that time. Michael Phelan, 115 to 15 points. Lester Ryan in the action. Adrian Ronan. Up it goes, dropped down by Michael Ryan. John Lahey, once again, a commanding figure. Ryan against Pat Dwyer. Lester Ryan. So many Ryans in this match this afternoon. The clan very well represented. So Leicester hoping to make up for the disappointment of 1987 when Kilkenny went under to Galway in that year's final. At the moment it's Tipperary leading by a goal. A highly competitive final. Always great rivals, of course, in the Midlands, Tipperary and Kilkenny. Carr can't get onto it. Instead it's Colin Bonner, leaving it there for Bobby Ryan, bursting forward again, trying to give the example in the lead. He's now being one of the more senior players on the Tipperary team as Conor Stakelin plays it across towards Pat Fox. He'll have a lot of work to do in there against Eddie O'Connor to get onto this one, and Eddie O'Connor takes no chances and concedes the first 65 of the afternoon. He looks wearisome. It's a very humid afternoon. There hasn't been that much sunshine around since the start of the game, but temperatures around about 22-23 degrees. Michael Keating and John O'Donoghue in the background there calling out the instructions to their team as they bid to bring back the McCarthy Cup to the Premier County. John Parr can only look on And Jerry McGlory, the linesman, indicating to Michael Cleary just where the sideline ball's to be taken from. A goal and 6 points, his figures so far in the game. It's gone wide, just inches to the left. 5 minutes to go now. John Lahey trying to break it up with Declan Carr there in assistance. It runs on towards Conal Bonner, outside to Michael Cleary. That goal, a speculative one, a very lucky or fortunate one it seemed from a Tipperary point of view, disastrous from Kilkenny's point of view, separating these teams. Colin Bonner blocked down, and it's going to be a Tipperary sideline ball. Lester Ryan hoping that he can make a difference and get this Kilkenny forward line moving once again, as they were doing so splendidly in the opening 35 minutes.
That's just the problem, though. They can't get the ball inside to the inside forward, so they need a goal, I think. And if they can get one ball in, even try and create a situation whereby a player can play for, try and get a penalty or even create a goal scoring opportunity, they're still well there.
This is John Lahey, neat pick-up against Richie Power. Lahey, who works in County Kilkenny, has taken a fair bit of slagging in the last couple of weeks in the build-up to this. Watches as Adrian Ronan fires it in. He's put it wide. Substitute goalkeeper or substitute forward. That was one they really did miss, Jimmy.
That was the one that needed to put in front of the Tipperary full back line, trying to create something, and it was a very, very careless wide by Adrian Ronan.
Ken Hogan. Michael Phelan making a great catch in the middle of the field. He's had a good game. Up towards Lester Ryan, been marked by Conal Bonner. Runs on to John Lahey, stopped again by Michael Phelan. Defiantly forward. The supply now in towards the inside forward line. Liam Fennelly running onto it. Fennelly there against Michael Ryan, and Ken Hogan has the opportunity to come out, do his goalkeeping and make his clearance over the head of John Lahey. Richie Power waiting for it, knew that Eamon Morrissey was well positioned to get onto the loose ball. Liam Welch again putting it in towards Christy Heffernan. Breaks down, picked up by Fennelly. They need a goal badly. Stopped, runs loose, and in the end it's Colin Bonner right on his own Glen line. So near and yet so far for Kilkenny. On my watch, 2.5 minutes to go. The injured player.
Well, I was just saying, you generally get one good chance of a goal here. Liam Fennelly doesn't hit the ball that well, and Ken Hogan doesn't gather it cleanly, and DJ Carey just runs on the wrong side of the ball. It goes agonisingly wide of him. It was certainly a great chance of a goal for Kilkenny there. I was wondering, was that the break that tip needed?
It may well be. That looks like Paul Delaney, who is in need of attention. The right corner back. So tired, aching limbs at the end of a memorable final. A final in which Tipperary continued to lead by a goal, but where Kilkenny so very nearly got back level just moments ago. We've got a sideline ball. A minute and a half on my watch to go, plus any time that the referee may add on for injuries. Bobby Ryan to break it up from the middle of his own half-back line. Tipped by a goal, remember. Declan Carr booting it out. Is he to take possession of the McCarthy Cup shortly? Conor Stakelum. Up it goes to Donny O'Connell. O'Connell against Liam Welch. Whipped forward by Pat Dwyer. Now Declan Ryan to the other Declan. Declan Carr. Conor Stakelum trying to make inroads there against Bill Hennessy in the dying seconds of a memorable final. Across towards Aidan Ryan. The loose ball picked up, however, by Liam Simpson. Knocked well out into the centre of the field to Lester Ryan. Looked up quickly to see what was on. Spotted that DJ Carey made a round across from left to right against Paul Delaney. Is this to be it for Kilkenny? They need a goal badly. DJ Carey inside to Fennelly. The shot, and it's gone wide. It's gone wide. Agonisingly wide of the right-hand post for Liam Fennelly. So Tip, their hearts must have stopped a few times there. Continue to lead. Conor Stakelum again, looking for another score. Time almost up. Just to put a bit more daylight between the two teams. Stakelum stopped by Liam Welch. Still a few seconds to be added on. Liam Welch, robbed. Pat Fox, that may seal it now. Magnificently put over the bar by Pat Fox. His 5th point of the day. And that may be, as they say, the insurance point for Tip. At the other end, we're in injury time. Liam Fennelly raids. Still Fennelly, looking for a goal. Stopped by Conal Bonner. Michael Ryan watches it come off his chest. Picks it up well. A good relieving clearance. The referee still playing a couple of seconds. Out towards Michael Cleary. Over there with Michael Phelan. Declan Carr blocked down. A sideline ball, the outcome. What a thrilling finale.
Great score there by Fox, Gerald. He's the one you'd want to get the ball at that stage when it was all happening. And he doesn't miss at then at such a vital stage. What a tremendous score, and he's rounded off a great afternoon again for himself, I think.
It looks like being Tipperary. Colin Bonner. Remember, they went into this with both sides having won 23 All-Ireland crowns. There was great rivalry, great intensity. It's not over yet. Phelan going forward has been fouled. It'll be a free in to Kilkenny, and surely they will lob this one in around the house. DJ Carey, curiously, has stayed in on the fringe of the small square. Somebody else is going to have to take the free. Adrian Ronan will be the one. They lob it in towards Christie. Swung the stick onto it. Bobby Ryan, and it's Eamon Morrissey going forward. Morrissey trying to kick it in somehow. Any route to goal will do, just to try and get inside. Morrissey, is he barging? Yes, and it's going to be a free out. It's going to be a free out to Tipperary, and Tipperary's goalkeeper Ken Hogan ready to dance a jig of joy up on the canal end. The Tipperary flags flying proudly, defiantly. They want to win back the McCarthy Cup against the great traditional power in Kilkenny. They lead by 4 points, and Declan Carr is advancing once more in injury time. Making good ground. It drops short. Michael Welch. It's all over, and Tipperary have won the All-Ireland. John Lahey celebrating. Richie Power disappointed. A terrific final. Tip got the vital break. A goal by Michael Cleary midway through the second half. And at the end, it finishes Tip winning by 4 points. Final score, Tipperary 116, Kilkenny 15 points. So it's dejection and elation, I suppose. Tipperary's 24th All-Ireland win. The fans coming on, some of them, although Croke Park officials, of course, have been adamant that they don't want too many fans coming on the field, and they've appealed to the supporters to stay off the ground, and in fairness to both sets of fans, they've done that by and large. But Tipperary's 24th All-Ireland win, they move one ahead of Kilkenny in the Roll of Honour, and just behind Cork, last year's champions. The end of a wonderful year for the Premier County, a triumph which was masterminded by Babs Keating and his team of selectors. It was a victory that confirms the county's win of 2 years ago as genuine champions. If anything, they're an improved team. They looked out of it at times in the first half today, but they came back with a vengeance in the park. Witnessed their challenge in the Munster final against Cork twice. Once out of it, beaten, or it seemed beaten by 7 points, then by 9 points, and yet they came back. So after those 2 comebacks, it looked easy against Galway, and Babs Keating now has to be absolutely delighted with the performance of his challenge in today's 14th Tip Kilkenny final. The blue and gold has prevailed once more. Tipperary, the 1991 All-Ireland hurling champions. Michael Babs Keating, the manager, Donny Nealon in there to share a very special moment. And Declan Carr doing what I'm sure he's dreamed of doing in the build-up to this final. He was saying that during the week of the final he might prepare just a little speech just in case he was called upon to speak when he receives the cup. Liam Mulvihill offering his congratulations. President Robinson and the president of the GA, Peter Quinn, and the Taoiseach Charles Haughey there also as well to offer congratulations to Tipperary's captain. A fitting end to the game, Jimmy?
Yes, indeed, your heartiest congratulations to Tipperary. They've won the championship the hard way this year. They came on to Páirc Uí Chaoimh, looked out of it, got a draw, went back to Thurles and won a fantastic game. They've beaten Cork, they've beaten Limerick, Cork, Galway and Kilkenny. I think that's the ultimate proof of their consistency and an outstanding team, a great performance, and nobody will begrudge them this victory. It's certainly an outstanding team and fully deserved on the day.
as you say, very, very worthy champions. But full credit to Kilkenny as well for making it a fine battle, a fine game, a game worthy of an All-Ireland final. In there I noticed Cormac Bonner as well, who came across just to have a word with some of the Tipperary supporters. He would have been bitterly disappointed had he been unable to play, and he made his contribution for, I suppose, 3/4 of the game.
No Somali Nairn, no Harlar. Atá Tangle to the Kayla, on Oakridge, Fear Ernach, Shohinu. Going Breakers, Lagoctina, a hot Papiak, the Trehe, Nashinton O'Neill in Reda. Lagockfern, August Lagockfern Road, Lenore Tory, August Lenore Hori, or Futna Chira. August Bohariha, Lagoctina, a big candidate. A going Breakers, her pitching for Lurcha. A tall shot, of got Cody Sapir. August, Tipperary, August Kilkenny, of Bohariha. In 1991, we have had a tremendous hurling championship. An outstanding Munster final and replay. Close and competitive but sporting games in 3 provinces. 2 good All-Ireland semi-finals. And today it has culminated in a clash of 2 of hurling's traditional aristocrats in Tipperary and Kilkenny. And they produced a close, competitive and exciting contest full of what is great in our national game. No doubt Kilkenny will be disappointed, but real greatness demands the ability to bounce back from adversity, and I have no doubt that this Kilkenny team has that trait and that they will be back. But today they have to concede to a superbly fit, well-prepared and highly motivated Tipperary team, which deservedly won this year's All-Ireland hurling title and placed themselves in winning this year's title. Tipperary have placed themselves in 2nd position on the roll of honour of winners of our national hurling title. I congratulate Tipperary on their win. I congratulate in particular the players, their management and the county board officers. They produced worthy All-Ireland champions. And they should Captain Nafrende in a Hassett Lemar. Couple of Mayo Hind, the Ayahar, Pearson Shaw, Aaron Alvin Shaw, August Ron May, Kern, Shriner Palair, August Anish, Tá Ahas Moran, on Kern, Avonu, our captain and you, our captain Tipperary Darren, Declan Carr.
It's the moment that Tipperary have waited for, have planned for, and now have worked for. Declan Carr accepts the Liam McCarthy Cup. It goes back to the Premier County. Tipperary, the Premier team in hurling this year.
Who's there on here? And all that quick. Who's there on? Come on, Luke, last there. August McCarthy. August, Colmore, Hearn. Corn Sean Ahern, Haglaka. It's Bralon Behan, Captain Ahern. Com August Coast Bartol. Sar Cleha Vian. Sar Cleha Vian. I forget the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, and most important, Tipperary supporters, we brought it home! Dream the one will be alive tonight! It took 12 long, lonely, hard months to bring this cup back to Tipperary, but we did it in style. We bet the cream of hurling in Ireland today, and now we are worthy All-Ireland champions. There are an awful lot of important people I would like to thank that have contributed to our victory here today. Babs, Tony and John are the men that brought us here today, and they lead us to further glory. Hear, hear. I'd like to thank our backroom team who has put us right here today, not just today, but all year. They were there when we needed them. Again, I would like to thank our sponsors, Tipperary Spring Water. Unfortunately, we won't be drinking it tonight, but we'll have it next week. I would also like to thank MS Kent, who also sponsored us. Lastly, I would like to thank you, the genuine Tipperary supporters. You have never, ever, ever faltered in your dedication towards us, and this today is your just reward. On the last note, I'd like to thank again Tipperary, our Kilkenny team. They showed fine sportsmanship out there today. They're a very young team, and I've no doubt that we'll be up here in the near future. 3 cheers for Kilkenny. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Thank you very much.
So Tipperary celebrate, and well they may do so. That's Paul Delaney, who missed the 89 final. Aidan Ryan there, who was a sub that day, and now he can share in the glory like Michael Ryan here, who came through from the under-21s, from nowhere really. And Noel Sheehy, Conor Stakelum sharing in the glory as well, taking the congratulations of those on the Ard Corla stand. Conor O'Donovan, who might well have played but for injury. And Nicky English, fresh a little kiss for the cup. And John Lahey, who works in Kilkenny, well, he may weigh the Kilkenny. His father, I believe, is also from Kilkenny. He has to take a fair bit of slagging. Donny Nealon can share this moment with Ken Hogan. Some great goal kicker from Ken Hogan. It really was a terrific match, well enjoyed, and we hope you enjoyed it wherever you watched it.
So as the Tipperary team and mentors get a precious feel and wave of that Liam McCarthy Cup, the celebrations are and their guests are being fed Cup. The celebrations are and their guests are being fed and watered, amongst other things. Well, we thought we might interrupt one or two of them in their celebrations to get their thoughts on today's game. Standing by with some faces that I think might be familiar to you is Ger Canning.
Thank you very much indeed, Michael. Indeed, people are enjoying themselves famously here in the Burlington tonight. They're well fed, as you'll gather. And Cormac Bonner here beside me, who was much the talk of the nation in the build-up to this with his injury worries and so on, tells me that he hasn't actually won a Telecom Man of the Match watch yet. Have you got a watch?
What time is it, please?
Now, you really wanted to play badly today, didn't you?
Well, that's not quite true. I never wanted to play badly. I badly wanted to play. It was always an aspect of my game.
You're following the script well so far. Well done. What about the injury, though?
Well, seriously, up till this morning, I was touch and go. It was the hardest week that I had ever put down, in that I was ruled out, or I was told that I was going to be very, very doubtful all week. And I must admit, like, to be fair to it, my wife was great support to me at home all week, telling me just keep in there, hang in there, and we'll look after it, and thank God it worked out right.
What about the younger brothers?
Who? It's great. You know, it's nice to have the lads playing, but it's always nicer to have me playing first.
You took quite a while to establish yourself in the Tipperary team. Played football at one stage as well.
Well, I never felt that. You know, no, that's very true. I started off playing football a couple of years ago, and I was spotted by the selectors a few years ago, and I haven't looked back since, and thank God for that.
Well done to Cormac Bonner. Cormac, I know you want to go to the little boys' room. It's just over there. Good on you. Declan Carr is next. Declan, that was one of the great speeches that you made today. What did you want to say?
That I hadn't got to watch either. there was a good few things I wanted to say, but it didn't actually come out like that. But if I get a few more pints in me, I'll tell you everything I had to say.
Did you feel any way under pressure in the build-up to this match? People had said Declan wasn't quite the player he was a couple of years ago.
Not really. Anything can happen in an All-Ireland final. As was shown today, we were expected to go out there and beat Kilkenny off the field, which didn't happen, and it's a good tribute to Kilkenny that it didn't happen. They're a fine team. So coming into the game, there was 15 men against 15 men, and it depends on how you go on the day.
You had great support there today, but you did go in with this favourites tag hanging on your shoulders.
That's right. It was ridiculous, really, the amount of people that had made us favourites by so much. But looking back on it, Kilkenny did themselves proud today, and we did ourselves proud today, even though we didn't play our best hurling.
Well done to Declan Carr, captain of Tipperary this year. Good honour for you. Michael Ryan. This must be a bit like a dream come true for you, Michael. You came in during one of the Cork matches, established yourself and played a stormer out there today.
Well, thanks very much. Yeah, it is. It's a dream come true for me. Little did I think coming into this championship that I'd hold my place or yet again win an All-Ireland medal. You know, it's fantastic.
And the family, it's a double, isn't it? Didn't your brother also win an All-Ireland medal?
That's right. My brother John came in the Junior All-Ireland and scored a couple of goals to help us beat Kilkenny again. So as a family now, we're very happy at the moment.
You'll be heading back to a big ceremony tomorrow night in Semple Stadium. We're obviously looking forward to that.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we'll be at home again with our local crowd, and we owe a lot to them. They're great followers.
You've had a great season. You deserve a good night. Well done to Michael Ryan. Now, over here. Team manager, of course. Doesn't need any introduction, Babs Keating. Babs, what did you make of that today?
It was the kind of game that we expected. We know Kilkenny right back 27 years ago. Donny, John and myself were in a Tipperary team that we were lucky enough to beat Kilkenny. We know how hard and how difficult Kilkenny are over the years. We know what they did to us in Thurles on the 24th of March. And I just think the media and the bookmakers just got a little wrong leading up to this. But thankfully, we weren't conned by it.
The bookmakers you mentioned there, at one stage they were offering Tipperary 6-1, I think, before the first match against Limerick.
Well, some of them were, but I'm sure they'll be sorry in the morning when a few people go in with their pay slips.
And you were not among them, of course.
Well, I can't say that because my boss is listening, so I'm going in with my expenses as well.
Overall, it was a fine team performance. Even when you lost the two big lads up front, you had players that you could take in off the bench and do a good job for you.
Well, that has been, you know, the hallmark of championship campaign. We set out this year after a disappointing enough league performance. We took on Limerick in the first round. We put all our guns blazing at Limerick. They know what they got in Thurles. I think to be remiss of anybody here not to pay a special compliment to Cork, because the Cork players and everybody associated with Cork gave hurling and gave the GA what the GA are looking for, not alone in 91, but in any year. And I think it revived memories of the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. And I think there's a generation out there that believe that they couldn't see what happened in Killarney in 1951 again, but they saw it this year. And I would like to say sincere thanks to the Cork players for their generosity and their sportsmanship, both in Cork and in Thurles.
Well done to Babs Keating. Thank you, Babs. Let's go back and join Michael once again. Well done to Tipperary.
Thank you, Chair. Well, behind our television cameras here, there are a battery of photographers waiting for the next event to take place. Because the big question that was left after today's match, well, I suppose there were two questions being asked by all of the Tipperary fans as we came into the Burrington Hotel here tonight. The first one was, what was Declan Carr saying to President Mary Robinson after the match today? Maybe he'll be able to tell us that later on, but the question that we can answer for you now is, who has won the Telecom Éireann Man of the Match Award from the 1991 All-Ireland Final? To find out the answer to that, let's go back again to Ger.
Well, of course, our Sunday game expert, Jimmy Barry Murphy, is the one who had the choice to make. A difficult choice because there were a number of outstanding performances. To make the presentation, Mr. Alan Corbett, who is the Deputy Chief Executive of Telecom Éireann. Good evening to you. Now there's the little envelope, the name is inside, we all await it.
We're looking forward to this with great interest. And the Jimmy Barry Murphy selection for Telecomerion Man of the Match is Tipperary's Pat Fox. Well done, Pat. Superb performance. They're also interested in your ability to keep the time, so you've also got your watch. I think we should say that we had a marvellous game today of hurling skills from two teams with a great tradition, both teams with a great tradition of hurling, and one man exemplified that skill today, and that is Pat Fox. Well done, Pat.
Thanks very much. Pat Fox, congratulations to you, man of the match, well done.
Thank you.
And to Alan, thank you very much indeed. Pat, let's have a very quick word with you just before you head back to your table there. Did you enjoy that today?
Yeah, it was great for me. It was great for me to get man of the match. I'd just like to thank the people that chose me as man of the match winner. And as Nicky English said 2 years ago, he'd love to break that up into 50 pieces and give it to all the players and selectors. And I'd like to thank my wife, Marita, for all the support she has given me throughout the year. And that's all. Thank you very much.
And the knee held up well.
The knee is there for another year, only hopefully a couple more.
Well, looking at the full forward line today, you were all well bandaged, I'll tell you.
Yeah, Cormac was fairly bad already. Poor old Nicky had to go off again, so hopefully he'll be fine for next year.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Telecomerion Man of the Match for the All-Ireland Hurling Final, Pat Fox.
Yes, well, we hope to goodness that Pat Fox doesn't break that trophy into 56 pieces after the match today, as indeed one or two man of the match winners nearly didn't as down through the years. Well, congratulations to Pat on an inspired performance this afternoon. But you know, it's been an inspiring year for Tipperary hurling all through the championship. First we had those two remarkable comebacks against Cork. We then had that comprehensive victory over Galway in the All-Ireland semi-final. And then, of course, they capped it this afternoon with that victory over their neighbours and great rivals, Kilkenny. So in this special year for Tipperary, we thought before we left you tonight, we might reflect again on some special moments for Tipperary hurling, and that people would begrudge them their success in this afternoon's All-Ireland final. Well, that's where we almost must leave it from the Sunday game for tonight. Before we go, a reminder that while we're going to take a Sunday off next weekend, but we will be back in 2 weeks' time with the All-Ireland football final. Well, in that, of course, Meath play their 10th championship match against the Ulster champions Down, who were so convincing in their semi-final victory over Kerry. Well, things get underway on All-Ireland final day when Mayo play Cork in the minor final. And our coverage in association with Telecomerion begins at 1:45 on Network 2. So if you're not going to the match yourself, be sure to join us for football's biggest day on Sunday, September 15th. And of course, we'll have highlights of the big day and the Telecomerion man of the match in the Sunday game later in the night. Well, that's about it then from the programme for tonight. Before we leave you, we will say congratulations to the Premier County on scoring their 24th All-Ireland hurling title success this afternoon at Croke Park. It's also appropriate, I think, to say commiserations to the seniors of Kilkenny, but congratulations to their minors for whom this afternoon was a big day as well. Well, coming up after this programme, we have Tokyo Report with highlights from today's World Championships events. But from all of us on the Sunday game for tonight and from the Burlington Hotel, good night to you.
So a chance for Michael Cleary to extend Tipperary's lead once again to a 2-point lead. He's got a goal! A goal! A speculative shot by Michael Cleary. It's the moment that Tipperary have waited for, have planned for, and now have worked for. Declan Carr accepts the Liam McCarthy Cup. It goes back to the Premier County.